One thing that stands out for me as far as how I'm different from other people, and maybe this is for those of us who have chronic boredom, but when I get sober for a while, one thing I struggle with is I get a strong sense of kind of sentimental, which that's analogous to a, kind of having attachments, having like emotional attachments to things, maybe. And I still get it as a regular smoker. I'm not always stoned either. I, partake a few times a day on average. Sometimes if I have a really busy day, I just won't get around to it. And I don't seem to know as much of a difference, except for after a while of taking a break from it, I just get, like, the thing that takes the place of that is this strong nostalgia and, like, this yearning. And so because I don't like that, and I just, like, naturally run kind of depressive with things, and I'm not a depressed person. I think this world just runs so antithetical to our nature in so many ways. It's like there's something very, very alien in this world, and I think that's yet to be discovered. I'm eating this co-op soup. It's like $25. It's kind of a lot, but it's really good. I would never spend that much money on soup, but it's quality. At least that's how they sell it. But yeah, the manager himself told me, I'm such an East Coaster. Sometimes being out here on the West Coast, like I'll gripe about the price, but not in a bitter way. Not like, I can't believe this is blah blah blah. But I'll be like, wow, that is expensive. I'm like, that price really went up. And he was like, well, it's quality stuff and blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, good. Helps me feel better about it. It is really good. It's that perfect temperature for soup. There's like that, just hot enough, it's not too hot, but perfectly, I don't know, warming, and I love warmth. Everyone that knows me knows this. Anyway, yeah, I'm just thinking about, like, the different benefits for me personally of the plant medicine. And it definitely stimulates imaginative things, and I feel like I can go farther in my creativity than I ordinarily could. So in that field, it's an enhancer. But if you need all your whereabouts in a performative setting, you get the most clarity when you're not, for sure. I mean, there's probably some exception to the rule, so far be it from me to say that it's only that way, but yeah, it's different. I like to talk about the things that I feel like that stand out to me as different than most people, partly just because it's not that I'm so much obsessed with myself as I'm just curious other people, they go through that. If you, like, do you get a strong sense of like sentimental, or I guess it's more nostalgia, and I don't have such a problem with nostalgia, but it's like the yearning, it's the, like, heartbrokenness of something that could have been, but I can't even name it. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. I could name a bunch of ones. I'm like, I don't know which one it is, or if it's even any of them, or it's just like that's kind of the predictable thing that happens when things unfold, is they fall apart, and it's not always in a good way, unfortunately. It can be quite tragic, as we know. So anyway, this will be a short video. And I'm curious to know, any of you that, like, what are the special things that kind of are like a remedy for you with with cannabis, or perhaps other herbal things, like I mentioned kratom before. It's funny. Like, what a gas station drug, right? I mean, aesthetically, it's like, it's a plant, though. It's kind of weird. Like, I didn't expect it to, like, to work kind of as good as it does, or maybe it just works better for me. But, I mean, I'm still like anyone else after a long time of doing a lot of it, like the last time I quit, yeah, it's like 4 days of withdrawals. Horrible sweats. Of course, that was also back when I was drinking a lot. Now that I'm not drinking, it'd probably still suck. Like, you have a good amount of depression, because it just makes you, it kind of gives you a good sense of well-being after you, like, figure out the amount that works best for you. If you don't take enough, you're just gonna be like, oh, it doesn't work. And if you take too much, you're gonna be like nauseous and like regretting that. But there's a nice middle that I feel like I just have a slightly friendlier disposition, you know? Well, I hope out there that you guys are eating soup or making soup, because it's soup season. At least in the Pacific Northwest where I am, it is. Alright, off to work with me.